Audrey, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to set up the beginning of the Era's Legacy challenge that we are going to be playing over on my Twitch channel. So this video is going to be a little bit different than the usual ones we put up here. You guys might be thinking, Audrey, 4 videos in 1 week? What are you doing? I thought you were burnt out. You know what? I am burnt out. But I am burnt out of the Super Sim challenge. I have been trying to push that out so that I could be done with it and move on to other fun things. And I've realized that that's burning me out. I need to do other things. So here I am, a week before the Sunday before this is going up, and I'm going to start streaming this. The week of the Enchanted by Nature expansion pack drop, which I'm going to be doing a Let's Play with. So like all next weekend, I'm just going to be making content with the new pack, and then also starting the stream, because I don't know when to stop. Like I just, but so today we are going to make our sim, and we are going to build our starter home. So the way that I will go ahead and get started with this episode is by pulling up the template for the challenge that we are going to be using, and then we'll hop into create a sim. Alright, so I got my face out of the way here, and you guys might recognize this tab as our Super Sim Tracker tab. But we are going to be using this tracker format on Tumblr from Venezuela. I'm so sorry that I just butchered your name completely, but it has a nice picturesque layout for it. So the firstborn child is always going to be the heir, and then all eras start when the heir becomes a teen, but they won't need to move out as a teen. They will be moving out as young adults. So our first main sim that we're going to be building today is going to be the Taylor Swift era. They're going to be a musical genius, music lover, love the outdoors, and a rancher. They're going to be in the entertainer career, living in Chestnut Ridge with the color green, and those are the skills we're going to be doing. Now, this does go all the way through to, let me keep clicking, the Torturous Poets Department era. So we're gonna just have all eras. If there's a Taylor Swift 12, by the time that I finish this, hopefully they update it. It seems they obviously have updated it since Tortured Poets Department came out, so hopefully they'll stay on like that, but we don't know. We will see what happens, but I am very excited to do this. Taylor Swift just bought her master's back about a month ago at the time of recording this. Actually, it might have been 2 months ago. God, this year's gone so fast. So what we'll do today is just go ahead and create our sim and build her a nice starter home in Chestnut Ridge. It doesn't say anything about how expensive the starter home is going to be, but I'm going to just go off of base sim money. I'm just gonna hop into create a sim, straight out the bat, have 20 grand, and that's how we're gonna move it forward with this. So now we'll go ahead and hop into create a sim. Alright, here we are in CAS. Now I do have a background downloaded, and I will most likely be using some custom content, so I will link everything that I use down in the description below so that you are able to download this sim if you want to. I do not want to go live in Discord, thank you very much. So this sim needs to be not adjusting my mouse settings. I'm going to put this in my notes app so I don't have to keep pulling this guy up. Needs to be a music lover. It loves outdoors. And is a rancher. and has a musical genius aspiration. Now, I did also download some, I do have some mods in here that we will also be in when we do the actual gameplay. Those are the UI cheats mod that, thank you, that is like a lifeline for me. And then the realistic childbirth mod, I've been playing with it recently and I want to keep playing with it, so we will be. And the RPO mod. Then I do also have some poses downloaded to help with thumbnails and that kind of stuff. So that is how we are moving forward with this. We are going to be musical genius. We're going to be a music lover. That is the, I believe, the ones that were released. Okay, apparently it was not hot-headed for one of them. But the other one was athletic, I think. Active? Yes, active has poses. Just quite literally has poses. I don't love these poses. Oh, that one's cute. Okay, what else do we need her to be? I need her to love the outdoors and be a rancher.
Suli Suli. Huh.
Well, the outdoors should be in this one too, shouldn't it? No, it's in hobbies. And I am not the best at making faces, so I'm going to grab one that is kind of similar. Huge Taylor Swift fan, apparently. Don't remember what her face looks like. I'm so bad at making Sims, so we will see how this goes. This one I'm going to base loosely off of Taylor Swift. And then we'll just kind of, I feel like that's a good start base. I don't think that one's it. I think this one's gonna be the closest base to start with. You know what I'm gonna do? That is not what I wanted to click on. I'm gonna just pull up in her debut photo shoot from the Taylor Swift fandom wiki. That works. I need her face. Continue site, please. Thank you. Okay. She's so cute. Actually, wider face. Not that. I'll start with this and kind of widen her jaw a bit. I hate these eyes. She's kind of narrower eyes, but there's not a whole lot of narrower eye options with the, there we go. I'm just trying to find like a nice natural blue. Like, I don't want them to be super vibrant like those ones are. I think that's gonna be our best bet. Nose needs to be, I think I gotta use my favorite nose, which makes me so excited. That's not it. Actually, where is my favorite? Did I get rid of it? It's like a button nose that I use all the time. Is that it? It doesn't look great. I think this might be the best option we have. And then Going to go into her eyebrows. They need to be softer and not quite so high. I think that looks good for her brows, honestly, but a lighter brown. And for the hair, where my custom content comes in, I love this hair. I think this is going to be a hair for our Fearless era. Her hair in this era is very... I'm gonna just pull up the other hairs I downloaded first. Now this one screams debut Taylor Swift to me, but I also downloaded a bunch of these. These are more person of color curly hairs, I think. I think they are. This one's adorable, but it is not going to fit Taylor. I think these curly ponytails we can make work. And then this guy we can make work. And then I think that is like the correct, ooh, between these two. I think this like honey or one is what I'm gonna go with. And I think her eyebrows are a little dark. It's not really a, ooh, yeah, that blonde. Like that. Okay. I think that's how I'm gonna have her face. And they are all going to be swift. And then let's go into her makeup. It's all very like soft and childlike. That is, God, I don't know how I ever used that one. Okay, let's see. Let me just go with this one. Should do this one. Bring the opacity down, and I bring the brightness down. Here we go. And then I don't think she started the winged liner yet. No, it's still very soft and childlike. Album covers. Oh, it's pretty smoky actually. The pink lip. Actually, that one's kind of good. Opacity a little bit. Then lashes will do. Oh, I forgot that they overhauled the lashes. Those guys. Cheeks, we'll just go for a nice kind of natural look. Natural and youthful. No, not that. It's more like, honestly, that. Nope. Like a nice light pink. There's not a good color. That color, honestly, is what it looks like. I just hate giving Sims that look. Okay. So that is probably our debut look. Okay. I might go a little bit mute here so that I have time. So we can spend more time with the build portion. So I'll be back. Alright, welcome back. This is Tay Swift. Like I said, she is a musical genius who is a music lover, rancher, and loves the outdoors. This is one of her everyday outfits, and this guy is her other one. For all these outfits, I did just try and go very youthful and like 2008 coded. This is her formal wear. Makes you just very reminiscent of the Beautiful Dreams EP. and her activewear, her sleepwear. I think this is very debut Taylor. Debut Taylor is extra enough to wear a full nightgown to bed. Party wear is pretty modern, but sue me. Her swimwear, went with the rain green one I could find because this generation is green. Hot weather is this beautiful white dress, which looks very much like the my brain is frying at the moment. She looks very much like the water photo shoot she did. And her cold weather. I didn't feel very good about her cold weather throughout it, but we won't be seeing it much as the world that we are going to be living in does not. Oh no, it does snow. Never mind, we will be seeing the cold weather. Alright, I will go ahead and upload her to the gallery. So she will be on the gallery by the time that this video goes up. So keep an eye out for her. Alright, now we will be living in Chestnut Ridge. One thing I do want to look at. So, she's going to go to the bar every day, or the nightclub every night to perform. So I'm thinking I kind of want to look at kicking people out of this lot, or looking at how this lot is in relation to the bar. So first I'm just going to throw her on an empty lot over here. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and hop into the speed build portion of this video, so I will see you guys in the voiceover, Audrey. Alright, so we ended up on the Cozy Corner house lot, and we are going to go ahead and make this a nice, but ends up being a 1-bedroom, 1-office, 1-bath house. Now, I am trying to do as much horse ranch and limited packs as I can, but it does end up having quite a bit amount of packs. So I do know, going into this, that I want it to be very horse ranch and fit in with the rest of the environment. So I am messing around with the different horse ranch flooring and wallpapers. And initially I was going to do the bathroom over there, but I end up moving the bathroom later on. Now, I am not, my brain's not working, is what's happening right now, but I am very excited to do this. We are going to have a really fun time playing with this, I believe. Now, I did get my Twitch finally fully set up, I believe, for this to happen. So I ended up deciding to, here's where I'm deciding to move that bathroom over. So I have it officially set that we are going to be doing a stream every Sunday at noon. So we will see what happens with that. And here I am just trying to figure out how to lay out the actual living space. And I ended up deciding to put the kitchen back in there. And I do use a decent amount of clutter kits actually in this build. So if you don't care too much about the clutter, then that won't matter. I do end up using the Snowy Escape stove for some reason. I don't know why I ended up doing that. But the rest of the kitchen is base game and horse ranch. Nope, that's a lie. I use the kitchen clutter sink. And then I end up realizing I have no space for that island. So I end up going back in and taking that out. And here's me realizing that I do not have space for a living space. So I'm trying to rearrange everything again to try and be able to fit a living space. And here's where I decide that the kitchen island just isn't going to work. So I'm moving that door over and putting the living space up front by the front door. And I'm just putting in a kind of cheap TV because this is still a starter home, and we honestly ended up just barely meeting the starter home requirements. I ended up using the horse ranch table, and here's me struggling to type in my cheats to get move objects is my big one, and also I did a lot of debug landscaping, which is both bb.show hidden objects and with cheats on, and bb.live edit mode or show live edit mode or something like that. And then I end up putting in some cottage living lights. I think those are the only cottage living things I have in the entire build. So if you don't have cottage living, you'll just have to replace the lights. And I end up getting a kind of expensive toilet other than the just base one. It's just not something that... It was something that I wanted it to feel very, like, both rustic and your childhood homey. So that was something I've been struggling with, was the right amount of clutter to style to that kind of stuff. So then I do end up... I use a growing together wallpaper there. That's insane. But then I end up using a cottage living wallpaper in here. And I don't know who I thought I was attempting to use upper cabinets, but I realized that I was at 11th grand already. Another growing together wallpaper. I think I changed that one out. I don't like the way it looks. Or did I leave that? I might leave that, which is a sad realization. Here I am adding in some horse ranch windows. Like I said, just trying to make it blend into the surrounding landscape. And then I go into the bedroom, which again I'm using all horse ranch. You have that cheap bed and some end tables, and then I completely forgot how many musical instruments that come with horse ranch. And I just used a high school years microphone there for some reason, instead of just, I said I was trying to keep this pack small, but then I just used a high school years microphone and a Love Struck wallpaper. That's not pack light at all. And then the amount of packs I think I use for rugs might be kind of insane. So then this welcome mat is from one of the events, and that rug is from Horse Ranch and high school years rug. And then I end up using a laundry stuff rug in there as well. And it took me 10 years to find that rocking chair. But that one, which made me think of Rock Your Babies on that very front porch. And then I figured I wanted to have a nice big eating area for the backyard. And I really thought that we had a horse ranch planter, but apparently we didn't. So I end up just using a dark colorway of the base game one. I don't know what I was trying to look up there, but I did put multiple things in there. And the roof, I just went through a couple different decisions on the front porch option. And I also feel like I fiddled with this part for a little bit. Now this is 500 times speed. This actually took me an hour real time. But I end up using the horse ranch roof and then just a brown roof trim, blend it together really well. And then the roof accessories, I was struggling so hard. I thought for sure that there was a cottage living or horse ranch weather vane, and there wasn't. I experiment with putting some plants on the roof. I ended up completely nixing them and just going with a weather vane from Get Together, which I think is the only Get Together thing in this entire build. So if you don't have Get Together, do not worry about it. And here I go into my landscaping, and I take forever realizing that it's because I don't have cheats on is why I can't enable my debug. And then I searched through debug and realized that I don't have all of debug available. So I end up adding in the live edit objects here. And then I actually feel pretty decent about my landscaping, which I never really do. We are almost to the point where I'm gonna go back to my outro. So I did make just like kind of paths with dirt, and then I ended up making a little garden area out front, as well as the planter box gardens. And then I threw just a bunch of grass and flowers around the bottom of the trees, and I end up using terrain paint to add some dirt underneath there as well. And then I do the lilac bushes actually up front there. And then I take a while to remember that it's a fence piece. That is how Little Simsy does her garden beds. So I go ahead and add that in. And then this house is also up on the gallery. I believe it is called Debut Starter Home because it is for the debut generation. And this is me not remembering what fence piece it was and then finally finding it. And then I'm finishing up some landscaping here. Actually, in a second here, I try and add in a pond, and I realize it's way too small of a lot. This is me doing that path and really struggling with how light I made the sand. And adding in those dirt patches under the trees. I think I tap in a little bit of sand at the top front here to lighten it, and I really like the way that one looks. So then once I finish filling in these planter boxes up front, I actually go back around and tap a bunch of dirt onto the path I have back there. But I'm also throwing some plants just over here to try and make it look a bit more like it actually has been there for a while. And here is where I throw some dirt underneath those and work on, oh, I completely forgot about that fire pit. Same way I did in game while I was building. And then I just add another path and then fill it in with some more dirt, and then I end up softening my dirt brush a lot and just tapping over the path to try and make it look more worn down. And this is where I try and do a pond for a whole like 5 seconds and it doesn't work and I give up. So now we will go ahead and go back to main exit Audrey. Hey guys, I want to thank you so much for watching the stream for the first episode of this Let's Play for this Legacy Challenge. Will be today at noon Central, so about 2 hours after this video goes up. I am recording this outro before I do the speed build and the voiceover for that, so if I repeat myself, I'm sorry. Please make sure to like this video and subscribe and hit that bell notification so that you know when I upload 4 videos in 1 week again. And I will see you guys all on Wednesday with the I'm not sure if I'm going to do the first episode of the Let's Play with the Enchanted by Nature pack, or if I am going to do a video kind of like this where we do the CAS with it. So, thank you guys all so much for watching, and I will see you on Wednesday. Bye!
Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined.